Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of the John Doe Review. My name is Danielle John Doe, obviously. I got this little mic on me, and my abs are on fire right now. I actually just got home from a Pilates class and feel so strongly about it that I haven't even showered yet. I want to film this and knock it out while everything's fresh, and then I'll go and recover in a nice, warm, steamy shower. But I don't have many topics to talk about this week. Pilates will be one of them. Other than that, I'll talk about having fun while I went home to see a concert with friends and family. And yeah, that's literally it. But keep an eye out for episode 18 because I will be having another guest on the pod. And who knows who it'll be? I wonder if you can guess it. This person will be on camera, like it will be two people on camera, which will be our first little setup of that because obviously Hunter's voice has been a guest on here. But yeah, no, that's going to happen next weekend. Not next weekend. It'll be shot in about 2 weeks. It'll happen next episode. And I'm very excited because I think the topics that we're going to talk about are interesting to say the least, and I do think we will be an interesting pair on camera. Am I a little nervous in regards to what we're going to say and how much I'm gonna have to edit out? Yes! But we'll see. It'll be fun. Other than that, let's get right into it. Topic 1, Pilates. So, I had my first Pilates class today. I've done at-home Pilates, like where you go on YouTube and like you look up a like Pilates for beginners thing, and it's like all on a mat and like with free weights or whatever. I don't even know if that's what they're called. Are those the weights you hold and they're free, right? And you put them in your hands? I don't know. But I've never been to an actual Pilates class, and Hunter put me on his insurance, and he has like crazy good health insurance. And so part of our plan comes with ClassPass credits. Not sponsored. ClassPass if you want to sponsor me. But we get like a set amount of credits every month, and we get to use them towards whatever is on ClassPass, which is like food stuff, workout stuff, spa stuff, just like overall wellness, massages, stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God, I can finally take a Pilates class. So me and my friend went this morning, and it was a small class. It's a brand new studio. We learned after the class that it's only been open for like 3 weeks, which is crazy. But we walk in, it's such a cute, intimate setup. It's not a lot of people because I was worried about that because I do get nervous in settings. Honestly, with anything, if I'm doing something new and there's a bunch of people around me, like it just makes me nervous. But we signed up for this beginner class. It was only 30 minutes. So I'm thinking, honestly, a part of me was like, I could do the level 1 class. Like, I don't need to do beginner. Like, I've done at-home Pilates. Like, I'm not a complete newbie. Like, what do I look like? Right? But my friend was like, no, Danielle, like, from what I've heard, you should always take a beginner's class if you haven't, like, actually done a Pilates class. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, you know, it's fine. It's whatever. Okay, we'll take it. Just check it off. But, like, I don't need it. Whatever. And so we walk in. It's such a cute setup. It's only 4 of us total, like including me and my friend, and then the instructor as well. So 5 people in this cute room with like the way it was decorated, the way the equipment looked. I wasn't expecting to see the equipment stuff. I think it's called a reformer. And did she reform her? Man, my whole body. I was using it. We'll get into it though. But there was like natural lighting, like a cute little eating area that you could see from windows, and it was just so cute. And so we start this class, you know, we lay down, and at this point we're just pushing up on, you know, there's this bar, you put your feet on it and you push up and then you come back down and you push up and you come back down using your feet, all right? It's nothing. I don't even feel a burn. I'm not even breaking a sweat. Who cares, right? It's a beginner class. I'm just taking it to take it. And then we start doing other things with our legs. And by our legs, I mean our abs though. So like she was having us put our legs into this like tabletop position where you're like completely on your back, but you're lifting your legs to where like your thighs and shins. Hey! Sorry, my dogs are fighting over a toy. I'm talking about Pilates, guys. Oh God, and Ember's coming up to me. Ember, you want to say hi to the camera? Hey! But you're like, your thighs and then your shins make this like 90-degree angle. So you're using your thighs, or you're using your abs to like keep that angle, and then we do like various stuff with like our upper body. And one thing about me, and I honestly forget about it because it is one of my fatal flaws. I have no core strength. I have no core strength. And what I mean by I have no core strength, I mean it was glaringly obvious out of the 4 people in the class. Out of the 4 people in the class that I was struggling anytime we were relying on our abs. Like having to take multiple breaks and like started shaking. At one point, like I like blacked out and then came to and my knees were spread wide open and I was like, how did I get spread eagle? She told us keep our knees together. I don't know how I got here. But yeah, and then we did some upper arm stuff. I'm fine with the upper arms. I don't mind anything arms, right? But then, we did the leg stuff, we did the ab stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling it. Anyways, move to the arms. Okay, easy. And then we take the straps out. Okay, pause. We take the straps out and she's like, you're going to lay on your back and then get the big loop. And I was like, fuck, because I know the big loop is for the legs. So I'm like, okay. I hook them up. I'm in my stirrups, okay? And then we essentially start doing leg and ab exercises, lab exercises, if you will. And she had it like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like our thighs were parallel, but then we had to fully elongate, so we're like pointing our toes like a ballerina, point, flex from the ankle, all that. I'm pointing. And then she has to start doing circles where you have to take your feet and then you go up and then you go all the way out, spread it all open, and then you come back in, right? Because we're ladies. But then you do it again and then you spread it all out. And another thing about me, okay? I'm not very flexible, okay? I don't really have that much mobility in my hips. I can't even touch my toes. I can't tell you a time in a life when I could touch my toes. I'm talking about from childhood. We're in PE class and they say touch your toes. And I can't do it, okay? I can't do it. Hey y'all, Editing Danielle here. I'm literally still at my setup. I just started editing. But I thought I should give some more input on how inflexible, one of the words, I am. For reference, I can't sit on my feet. Like, when you go on your knees and then you lean back and you could sit on your feet or like sit on your ankles. I can't do that. And I've never been able to do that. And it is such an issue in my life. I remember being in high school marching band and there was like this woodwind feature thing and I was marching piccolo at the time. And in it, there was like a chunk of us that had to go on our knees and then lean back and sit on our ankles. And then at the end of it, like just get up from there without using our arms. And I could not do it, like day of. I could not do it. And I knew I couldn't do that shit. But I was like trying to power through. And my band directors were like, Danielle, like you just have to engage your core, right? And we already know how bad my core is, right? But they're like, Danielle, you just gotta engage your core and like you just fling yourself up. And then like just relax so you can sit on your feet. Looks like you're fucking hovering 3 inches above. That's what it looks. It literally looks like I'm defying gravity, right? Okay, like fully alphabet. I'm defying gravity. There's like 3 inches between my butt and my feet. I don't know why. I don't know how it works. I think it's just the muscles don't stretch. I think, ooh, there's glitter on me. Okay. I just think the muscles just like don't stretch like that or don't bend like that or don't go that way. I don't know. And I was so upset about it. That night I went home, and I think for like an hour in my room, I just tried to sit on my feet, couldn't do it. And then once I accepted that just wasn't going to happen, it tried to get up from that position. But since I wasn't like all the way down, I wouldn't have enough momentum to like get myself fully up again. Yo, next day at rehearsal, I pull up to my band director. It's hot as hell. We're walking out. We're setting up the field. And I go up to him and I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, but I tried so much last night and I can't do it. I can't sit on my feet and I can't get up from it without falling forward because I can't get on my feet in the first place. And like, it's just really bad. And I tried though. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to be difficult. And I like fully freak out to him. And I could tell like, as he's like walking and trying to like set up his stuff, he's like, oh my God, this bitch. And he turns to me and he goes, Danielle, stop freaking out. Stop freaking out. We'll figure it out. Which, like, shout out my band director, though. Like, I loved my band directors in high school. he knew I was a little crazy. And he was like, stop freaking out. Like, we'll figure it out. And you know what he did that day? Completely changed it. Yeah. Because I was the only one who couldn't do that shit. And it was bad enough to where I couldn't do it. And I was, in fact, falling after as I would try to get up from this position that I couldn't really get in the first place. I would literally fall out of it, which was very obvious and would distract. And yeah, he fully changed it for me. Shout him out. You know who you are. I don't think he watches this. But if he ever does, shout you out. And yeah, I think about that every now and then. Am I embarrassed? Yes. I don't even know why I feel the need to include it, but I'm going to include it. All right. This is a short episode anyways. Back to it. So we're working the hip stuff, right? And the thighs. I don't mind the thighs, but the hips I was struggling. The inner thigh stretch was a lot for me. Okay, but I'm making the circles and I'm thinking, okay, I just got to get through a couple more reps. She's like, okay. And then in 3, and then in 2, and then I'm thinking these seconds are not accurate. They're way too long, right? I'm still making my circles. And then she goes, and then in 1, and then I stop and I'm like, ooh, okay. And then she goes, and now reverse the circles. Oh, okay, right? I'm doing it. I'm feeling it. I'm having to stop. At this point, my abs are burning. I don't know if they were supposed to be. Maybe I was engaging them when I shouldn't have been. Or maybe they were still recovering from the tabletop stuff that we did in the ball stuff, in the Russian whatever. And doing it right now, my abs are still in pain. But yeah, I reversed the circles. I'm feeling the stretch. I'm feeling a little exposed emotionally and physically. And then we finish that, we get on the ground, we do some other stuff, more ab stuff, and then we roll over this like half ball thing, come back up, get back in the thing, do some more leg stuff, whatever, okay? Debbie was talking, her name was Debbie. Debbie was talking about how Pilates, after all these years, has changed her life. And all I had to think in my head is, after 30 minutes, girlfriend, it changed my life too. Holy shit! Because I knew I'd feel a little something. I didn't know that it would hurt to laugh right now, about an hour after it happened. Shout out Pilates though. I had a great time. Debbie had me opening and spreading and bending and twisting and pointing and flexing and I just can't. It was a lot, but it was, I liked it. I must say, you know. And you know what? This is a lesson. You got to get out of your bubble, people, right? And don't underestimate Pilates. You know, you hear that all the time. And I was thinking beginner's Pilates, like I don't need beginner's Pilates. I've done YouTube Pilates. Okay, same thing practically. It's not. But you know what? Did I sign up for next week's class immediately after with my friend? Yes! We're going to start Saturday morning Pilates. I'm very excited. We signed up for Reformer Level 1. All right, which instead of a 30-minute class, it's a 50-minute class. By the end of our 30-minute beginner class, I was like, when is this going to be over? Which is funny because when we first booked it, I was like, hey, are you sure we should be doing beginner? It's only 30 minutes. Like usually when I work out, it's at least for an hour, right? 30 minutes? What do I look like? A child? But no, within the last like maybe 15 of that class, I was like, this is the longest 30 minutes I've experienced in a long time. So the Reformer Level 1 is 50. And I'm a little scared. But look, getting out of our comfort zone, feeling good in our body. Maybe one day I'll be able to touch my toes, Pilates. Let's see if you can do it. And I think that's about it. If you haven't tried Pilates, highly recommend. Find a studio. The studio's brand new, only 3 weeks. Open, and they were so nice, and they were so like, oh my God, like, please come back and, you leave us reviews and whatever. And I was like, yeah, and I left a review because I did have a good time, felt very comfortable. I didn't feel judged for all of my shaking and pausing and sweating and panting. And anyways, let's move on. Dogs, stop it. Next topic, going to a concert with family and friends. That's really it. I went to a concert that I won't disclose. Okay, if you know, you know. It was in Arlington. We went to day 2. Okay. And the reason I don't disclose is because people make a lot of weird assumptions, and sometimes I don't like to be grouped with those assumptions, people, okay? Okay, there are stereotypical behaviors that I don't like to associate myself with when people find out that I am into certain music. Anyways, it was phenomenal. It was actually the second time I've gone to this concert because me and my cousin went to the Tampa show, and then she flew in and we went to the Arlington show. So much fun, phenomenal. It was my friend who I went to Pilates with. It was her first time seeing the show. She had a great time. We were lit as hell in the audience. My throat and voice were sore afterwards. It was crazy. Pause. That did sound a little weird. Guys, stop. I'm sorry, the dogs keep fighting, and this is a very all over the place episode. I also have a pimple. I didn't even mention that. I meant to mention that at the beginning. I have a pimple, a single one. It's making me angry. The lighting, I tried to find an angle that would hide it. No, it's right there. Anyways, it was phenomenal though. I had a great time. I got to hang out with my sister-in-laws, my cousin, and my friend. Hunter actually stayed back home with the pets because he wasn't going to the concert. And it was a really lovely girls' weekend. And also, we stayed with my mom, so I got to see my mom, my brother, his girlfriend, and his son, my nephew. He already looks so much different. I just want to, ball him up and, put some sour cream and hot sauce and just eat him, He's so cute, and his cheeks are so chubby. It's just, I just want to chew him up, Put him in my back pocket, save him for later as a snack. This is getting weird. I'm going to move on. But it was a lovely weekend. I love my family. I love my friends. I've been mentioning it. I've been stressed out because this has been a hard summer for me. Just so much has been happening that was pretty negative. And summer 2026 has kicked my ass. And it's those moments where I get to be around the people that I love and do things that are fun, freaking go to a new workout class or go to a concert and just be around good people always reminds me that I'm lucky. Even though I'm stressed out and some things are kind of unlucky in my life, I am lucky that I have a great community around me and I love my bubble of people. And that's it, guys. Since this is the John Doe review, I have to leave a review out of 5 stars for the last 2 weeks of my life. I would give them 4 stars. Honestly, Pilates really made my day. My plan when I got home was to get home from Pilates and immediately shower, but I felt so strongly about Pilates that I had to sit down and film this episode. I look crazy. My hair isn't this is literally what I wore to Pilates. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, and if you didn't, make sure to subscribe, share, comment, do all the things. I will see you guys in the next episode with my special guests. If you have any guesses, feel free to comment them, right? And stop texting me, all right, people? Comment in the comment section instead of texting me, because then I look like I'm just shouting out to nobody. But you know what? I know you're there, okay? But yeah, next episode's going to be exciting. I'll have a guest. It'll be very interesting. If you already know who the guest is going to be, you already know it's going to be very, very tea-full and jam-packed of lots of opinions and probably a couple of arguments. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a lovely next however many weeks it will be until you watch another episode of me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.